Hello there, this is a video to show you an example of an A-level personal unit which was created around the theme of humans and the natural world. This was an A-grade A-level art, craft and design A-level which was done at Thomas Lanes High School, and it was a really amazing unit full to the brim of experimentation and exploration. This image on the screen is showing an overview of the entire content of the students' work, which included 2 workbooks which were split up into 30 or so double pages each, and then a selection of different sheets on A1 and A2, both done in different medias using different approaches, a 3,000 word essay which is essential for all A-level investigations within art, craft and design, which is your chance to contextualize and explain and connect all of the work you've made to the artists you've investigated throughout the unit. And then a final piece is what is created to finalize and resolve the students' ideas. With every A-level that you do in art and design, whether it's photography or art, you will always have assessment objectives that you need to meet. And every single book page and every single sheet that you'll see in this video always connects to at least one of these assessment objectives. In many cases, it often connects to 2 or 3. For instance, it might connect to an artist, so therefore it will connect to AO1. And if it's development and it's experimentation work, which is done in the same way, that would also be AO2. Some students also mix in recording from observation with that at the same time, whether that's drawing, photography, or in other ways and approaches. The essay is a crucial part of the investigation, but you'll have a year to write one essay. So compared to a lot of the other subjects, it really is quite achievable. And this essay is personal and it's meaningful to you. And it will set you up for the type of writing that you'll be doing at college or university when you do your dissertation. This is an image of the final piece, which was quite a large piece. It was A1 that was done in size and was a mixture of all of the different parts of the investigation and experimentation that the student had done, using natural forms, using portraiture, using different techniques that they'd selected throughout. There was a little bit of relief and wire decoration and embroidery that had also taken part in the surface, which added extra areas of interest. In this next part of the video, I'm going to flick through each one of the different book pages so you can see what this student's sketchbook is made up of. It's A3 in size, and on that first black page there, it just then definitely makes sure that that theme and that explanation of what their unit was about is fully explained. It does start off, in most people's sketchbooks, in a more brief and a more simplistic way, as this is the beginning of the investigation, and the students and every single student that does an A-level will find that they become more in-depth over time in their quest for more sophisticated ways of developing and experimenting with work. These next few pages all feature different types of artists and different methods of recording, whether that's in photography, whether that's quick sketches, just to start to get to grips with their theme and possible ways of experimentation. Different medias and different ways of recording are then attempted in the means of thumbnail designs, photography, and then also little bits of artist connections are also added onto the pages. This one here, which is showing continuous line just next to the thumbnail drawings, is the same as the next page where a different technique and an artist are used and compared together. So that way the technique that's being used and who it connects to are really clear in the work. Colour is then attempted. They look at the colour wheel, the types of ways of using atmospheres and moods within the work. That's then experimented with, along with then a trip set, which is where the student went to a Birmingham Botanical Gardens to then make drawings and to take different observations of that particular experience, all of which feeds into the work. It's always great to try and get onto location if you can. It's something which really helps. This next page shows when they went to Cork Abbey as well. So again, looking to go to a different place, looking to source different ways of looking at the natural world. This page is just giving you a little bit more of the information about those places. Recording leaflets, recording photos is always good to do alongside trying to get some of your drawings in there. Looking at wire in the next part here, and then moving on to the decisions and the choices which were around tackling a larger scale piece of work. Moving into monoprinting on the next page, so again lots of heavy focus onto different techniques before going into a more considered choice about what media to use and the compositions to employ. This is a particularly brilliant page, I thought. Superb thumbnails are put into there and they really help that student to show the development and to plan for their next shoot, which is zooming by on the screen now. Following this, the student then looks into different ways of representing the figure and portraiture, that is presented in a quirky and quite playful way. All the space is often really full, and that keeps the person who's looking at the book really interested and engaged with what you're doing. There's not a lot of white space, and if there is white space, it's often a hinge revealing something else, so it really keeps the viewer's interest going. This page is going back to a little bit of research, looking at images from either mood boards or relevant connections, and then analysing those. That will be important to help you with your essay as well. Moving on to that, developing, looking at different types of embroidery, thread use along with painting, so the decisions and experimentation start to get even more exciting. Following that, Sue Blackwell. This is an artist that was very relevant to the investigation when it comes to the use of three-dimensional objects over the top. So in the case of her using flowers and butterflies as time went on, this was a really good connection for her. As the page flips over, she's trying to be a bit more creative with the way that she's formatting and presenting her pages, so she mixes it up a little bit so it's a little bit different every single time. This page is again moving on to more artist work. You never can have too many artists in your works, guys. And then planning what she's then going to do for her next piece. After that, she's then put an example of the sheet in the work to then explain and analyse that sheet. Moving away from a bit of drawing and a little bit of observation in that way, the student then starts to look into photography, looking at the sort of the human aspect of that part of her work. So she's recording those images so she can then make more personal drawings. Those photos allow her to show that recording skill, as well as then giving her the option to make sketches from primary source material, not just images of people she sourced from the internet or from secondary sources. Time moves forward, and then she's going into more development. She's looking at a mixture of portrait sort of studies there, which are done in a range of medias, and they're all again to plan to get towards the next level or the next sheet outside of the book. So sometimes the book is used to show the images, or in the case of this image here, this is showing a where am I now, or what should I be doing next page, and that just summarises and contextualises the work that she's done and the work that she's then intending on doing. Photos are selected and they're experimented with, whether that's using collage or again drawing, before then attempting to mix those ideas together using that successful previous white and black piece that she'd made that was done in fine media, but she now wants to start mixing and merging the different types of compositional elements together. So the portraits of the person and the natural forms could then work together. So that page here is just all about that type of compositional planning. She's moving forward again. She's trying out colours and ideas to push that work just that little bit further. This page here is showing a larger cut piece and then a little bit of collage and paint all working together. Then also the introduction of those three-dimensional embellished materials which also permeate and go through to a final piece. That's the other side of the cut page, which as well as then being a more interesting technique, just again varies that idea and that presentation. This marks the end of the student's sketchbook work, so the remainder of the images that are in this video are all about the sheets that she's produced in support of the work in the sketchbook. This first sheet is a larger sort of A1 sized sheet which has 9 different boxes of studies of the wire sculpture that she made earlier on, which was made based on natural forms using everything from twisted wire, we use nichrome and copy wire together, then other objects like buttons and bottle caps are strung in to make it more interesting. The drawings are then made from a small scale and then added onto a page where all can be displayed at once. It looks really good in my portfolio and it's superb for the AO3 Assessment Objective 3 Drawing Assessment Objective. This sheet was one of the larger sheets which you might have seen zooming by earlier on. This was an A1 sheet, absolutely fantastic mixture of all the different locations she's visited that recorded the natural world, from sometimes the location visits and other times from photographs she'd taken. This sheet was an initial test which was done using a bit of portraiture and then some of those natural ideas together to synthesize the types of things that she wanted to get from her artists. This image here was a little bit of a practice on top of an inverted image of the previous black and white one that you've been seeing, and that was showing how different painter techniques could be used to add colour to that. The student decided not to take that forward because she was very much satisfied with the black and white version. These two sheets on here were a little bit later in the stages of the course where she started to get the right type of compositional elements working for her, and she was really pleased with the balance of the natural elements in the work she was making and then also the portraiture. So it's showing that clear mix between the two things. This sheet was an early mood board, and that contains a mixture of artists and images all working together that, yes, was recorded in the book, but sometimes recording them on sheets is a more of a formal way and a larger way that you can make your ideas just come to life that little bit more for the examiner. This was a little test sheet where the student was painting using a mixture of three-dimensional techniques, looking at a Claire Baser style who's from a research to then formulate an A2 sheet. This is a mixture of two A2 sheets, which was a large expressive painting on top, and then lower down was a mixture of definite portraiture in the middle there, and then other natural forms around it. More mood boards and then more images are then presented, which are also really helpful for the student to draw from, not just to show off to the examiner and to get marks from. They are usable sheets. They are being used to help that student move their investigation on. The same as these sheets here, showing the shots that she'd taken of the portrait, showing a few little images of drawings, so the student's got that to refer to make sure their work is always developing forward and they're always getting something to look at to draw from. This is the final piece, which I showed you right at the start of the video. It's already been explained, so I won't do that. But it was a really great way to finish off their coursework and to make sure that they've made something which is a little bit ambitious, a little bit bigger in scale, that definitely consolidated all of their ideas. I hope this video has been of some help to you guys. If you have any questions, please email me at robinson-white@tahs.net. Thank you.